A God's forgiveness. All those who had survived the massacre went to Brahma and related to him the great calamity that had befallen them through the Virabhadra. Brahma and Vishnu had not been present at the yajna since they did not want to take part in a ritual which did not include Mahadeva, which as a matter of fact was being performed with the sole intention of insulting Mahadeva. When they told Brahma about the happenings at the Yajnashala, he said, when a powerful man does something wrong, his being powerful does not in any way justify his followers to behave in the same manner towards the victim of injustice. It is not good. You sided with Daksha. When he performed the yajna, you attended it knowing fully well it was a gesture of insult to Mahadeva. Since you have wronged him, there is nothing else for you to do except fall at the feet of Mahadeva and seek his pardon. He has been greatly wronged. His mind is still seething with pain because of the treatment of Daksha towards his beloved Sati. Sati is dead because of Daksha. If Mahadeva continues to be angry, the world will come to an end. Go to him at once and pacify him. Brahma then went to Kailasa, the abode of Mahadeva. It was a picturesque spot. The river Nanda was flowing there. Facing the mountain was the city, Alaka, ruled by Kubera. The Devas who were with Brahma stood rooted to the ground looking at the lake where the heavenly lotuses by the name Saugandhika were floating. Nanda and her sister Alakananda were flowing out of the city Alaka. There was an immense banyan tree, and under the tree they found Mahadeva immersed in tapas. His right hand was holding a string of beads. Brahma went near him, and accompanied by the Devas who stood with folded palms began to speak softly. He spoke words in praise of Mahadeva, and there was a note of pleading underlying the chanting of the words. Mahadeva was roused out of his yoga. He knew that Brahma was there. He stood up from his seat and greeted Brahma by bending his head with reverence. The others around also bowed before Brahma. Brahma accepted it all with a smile and spoke to Mahadeva. Lord, as you are, of the world, of the mind and the senses, it is but right that you should abandon this anger against humanity. You must forgive the faults of the ignorant. Please make it possible for the interrupted yajna of Daksha to be completed. Forgive the Yajamanas who denied you a share of the harvest. Make the maimed whole again. Forgive all of them. Mahadeva smiled at all of them and said, I am not angry with all those who took part in the yajna, but I had to punish Daksha. He had to be cured of his pride and his arrogance. Incidentally, the others were also punished. Daksha can come back to life with the head of a goat. Nandikeshwara's words cannot become false. Daksha's mind is now cleansed. As for the maimed, they will all be whole again. Brahma asked him to go to the Yajnashala with them, and he agreed. All that the Lord said came true. Daksha rose up as out of a deep sleep, and he found that he was in the presence of the Devas, Brahma and Mahadeva. His mind, which had been clouded, the malam because of the hatred for the Lord, was now clear like an autumn lake. He tried to speak, but he could not. tears choked him. Tears at the thought of his daughter, his beloved child Sati, who had to die because he, her father, was blind to the glory of her Lord. He composed himself and spoke words speaking of the greatness of Mahadeva. He said, "I insulted you, and the world thinks that you have punished me for it. But in reality, what you did is an act of immense grace. Vishnu and you have so much affection for mankind. Even when ignorant Brahmins behave as though they know so much, you smile indulgently at them and unmindful of their stupidity. You are kind to them. When such is the case, how can anyone imagine that you have punished me, who has ever been doing all that my father had asked me to do? It is unfortunate that I, who should have known so much, knew nothing. The reality escaped me while I was caught in a web of illusion and ego, the ego of knowledge and power. That made me behave foolishly. In the midst of everyone, I hurled insult after insult at you, and yet you have so much affection for me. Unmindful of what I have done, you have made me clean and given me a new birth so that I will use it all better. All I can do is to fall at your feet and ask for your pardon." The yajna was resumed. Lord Narayana appeared and the three gods presided over the yajna. When it was ended, Daksha honored the gods, the Devas, and all the guests properly. The Devas returned to their abode after the conclusion of the great eventful yajna. Daksha was now freed of his proud and arrogant nature, and he was a highly chastened person. Only Sati was dead. Dear listeners, it is well worth our time to sometimes pause and reflect back. How many times in our life what we thought was not good, was not right, was unfair, or something that was bad for us actually became the reason for us to learn, to grow, to realize our faults, and to check ourselves from time to time. How many times have we, like Daksha, in our ego and illusion of control, insulted people, relationships around us? These relationships could be small, big, young, old. Have we valued them and known them for what they are really worth? Do think about it and pen your thoughts and journal them down. Hari Om.